Once you've cut out the paper template of your glider, you're going to tape it to wood. Notice how I've tried to line up the bottom so that I'm using the straight side and the 90-degree angle of the wood so I have less cutting to do. You're going to tape the wing on, the horizontal and vertical stabilizer both go on one piece, and the fuselage goes on a thicker piece. The dihedral or polyhedral angle does not get taped onto wood. We're going to need this later. It just gets cut out in a big rectangle. When you're cutting these out of wood, you can choose to use scissors or a razor knife. I'm going to use a razor knife. When you're using the razor knife, make sure that you're using a clipboard underneath and that you clip the wood into the clipboard. You're going to keep your non-cutting hand on the clip, and you're going to use pull strokes away from your non-cutting hand. Even with the thin wood, I'm not trying to cut it completely through on the first pass. I'm making a very light pass, always in a pull motion, and then I follow that path one more time. Keeping your non-cutting hand out of the way is key. You'll feel it break free once you've gotten through. So now I'm going to set the razor knife down and I'm going to turn this. After 2 or 3 passes on the thin wood, it should be free. When you are finished with this, you can clean it up with sandpaper. Always retract the blade of the razor knife whenever you set it down. Make sure the paper stays on the wood. We're going to need to draw some of these lines on the wood in a moment so that we can work with the polyhedral angle. When you're working with the thicker wood, sometimes it requires more than 3 passes. Sometimes you'll have to use up to 5 passes. So my first pass with the razor knife is just to get a score line, something that I'm going to follow later. I'm just going to continue to follow that score line until it breaks free naturally. Okay, on the fuselage, you'll notice that it gives you an indication of exactly where you're supposed to put the wing. So now that I've cut it out, I'm actually going to put these little lines on the wood so that I know where to place the tail. I'm going to put a T here for tail and where to place the wing. So right now, I have copied those down. Okay, on to the horizontal and vertical stabilizer. Like I mentioned previously, you can use scissors on the thin wood. When you're using scissors, just go slowly so that you don't break the wood. Again, you can use sandpaper to clean it up. There's the vertical stabilizer. Here's the horizontal stabilizer. Okay, and there we have it. Once again, we're going to be drawing this line on the horizontal stabilizer. That line will eventually help us to get this lined up on our tail section, and then we will glue our vertical stabilizer on top. With the wing, we are going to use this line on the wood to line it up where we have those marks from the fuselage. We will also be scoring and controlled break these so that we can bend these up for the polyhedral bend. You'll need this piece of paper, the polyhedral angle, when you do that controlled score and breaking.